I mean, it's been a while, so I mean, it's kind of good that we went ahead and just got it started, right? It's been a while since we've had a big mute blow up, so why don't we just run it back and we'll start it again. So you can
Oh, wow.
That's okay. It's classic. It's vintage. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna focus on
you guys.
we play. But anyways, yeah. So seriously, we do have some Marvel to talk about. I want to thank everybody who's tuning in now. It actually kind of worked out perfectly because it gave everybody a second to file in. So yeah, totally nothing went wrong at the beginning of the show. Welcome to the actual beginning of the show. We're looking at, like I said, exclusively our community partners. This episode, we really want to push the attention to, since we didn't have a lot of big, high-profile events, that we're accustomed to having. We did have a lot of, community streams, but also we had Never Give Up in Chile, so we're going to take a look at that. That's, a big event for South America, and I think, Jonas, you said that Kane has never won that?
Kane finally won.
Right. Well, don't give it up. Don't give it away. Whatever. Well, Kane finally won, so we'll talk about that. He played his vintage Chilean rival down there, so some of you guys have probably heard of him. Some of you have not. We also had an online tournament come on, and PSN, actually, which is kind of crazy to think about since that is basically a banned console, for our actual competitive tournaments. But anyways, we'll talk about that. And the Midwest tournament, ULT 10, had its Swan Song tournament in its current venue. I don't know. I asked if they were going to be moving the event anywhere, and nobody actually got back to me to tell me one way or the other. But they did have their Swan Song event at their venue. I've been a couple times. It's a pretty awesome venue. Unfortunate, but that happens. So a lot, up front, and then we'll hit our previews for our upcoming big majors, TFC and SCR. Remember, SCR was originally not going to have Marvel 3. Decided that was silly. Added Marvel 3 back, and so we will be back on the West Coast, and then we'll stop in with a little bit of community. I'll say community content. It's a balance. I don't know. It's not a tier list. What do we call it? Balance chart. It's viability chart. Yeah, we'll go with that. That's a good word. So we'll discuss a little bit what it means to be viable. Maybe we were kind of joking ourselves with how many characters are good. Maybe we're not. So we'll flesh it out and kind of just check up with where we are in the meta, because we are going to be swinging into EVO season soon, and lots to talk about. But first, I'm going to introduce everybody that we actually have on tonight. Obviously, I am not sick anymore, so I'm back on host. Tassif, unfortunately, not here right now. He will be sliding in to the call here shortly. In his stead, he is sick right now, but he is here for the moment. He's going to fill in until Tassif gets here. Kyle, thank you for coming on tonight.
What's going on, everyone? I'll get to hear my awesome Barry White voice. Whenever I'm sick.
It's
so cool.
Very luxurious. I legitimately was impressed when he came on the chat channel and started speaking. So thank you for filling in while Tassif is taking care of business, or if we're going to see him, I don't know. But also, Marcus, Iron Man, welcome back. Thank you for coming on again.
What's up?
And then, of course, we also have our newest addition to the team, Jonas, Raidbot. Thank you again for coming on.
I'm here to talk about Captain America.
Yes, no, we're not going to do that. We already decided that's banned. No Captain America talk on tonight's stream. But seriously, though, we have some interesting events that have taken place recently. They, like I said, they're not the typical high-profile major streams, but we do have a lot to talk about. And I'm going to start with, we're definitely kidding ourselves if we think it's anything like the days of, the Big Two and Wednesday Night Fights, and, then the run back where Marvel was, like, huge on coast to coast, back-to-back nights. But one of the halves of that, still holding it down, Wednesday Night Fights, has their Marvel stream up, and the talent is actually pretty sick. I didn't actually know where they had moved the, I'll put the link in the chat in just a second, where they had moved the stream to, so I'm glad that I finally have it and I can keep up. But it's on twitch.tv/Kevin_Ha. Kevin Ha. I don't know if anybody has met him before. I haven't met him before. Maybe. Is he a Socal guy, like Marvel player guy?
He's a Socal guy. He plays Phoenix Wright. He's actually really good.
Oh, of course he plays Phoenix Wright. Well, he's very generous, and the stream was sick. I went through and watched top 8. I saw Priest. I saw Iron God, the Thor, Rocket Raccoon Strange player. I saw Clock, HB Shogun, Streamburger, another Thor player, which is really funny to see all this. And then Alex ADK, who's like one of the old school like SoCal guys, and he was in grand finals, so still out there doing his crazy work. But yeah, we had that. Did anybody else catch any of that, by the way? Any part of that?
Yeah, I watched a good part of it. I missed the last couple of matches because my interest petered off. I mainly watch Wednesday night fights for Zaka. I'm all about that.
Yeah, the zero
Raccoon
Amy. Yeah. So what do you like about that? Because for anybody who doesn't know who he is, he plays Zero Rocket Raccoon Amy. Tell us a little bit about what you saw.
I think on Wednesday night fight he played Spidey Raccoon Amy. He played I think Nova Raccoon Amy and Zero Raccoon Amy. So I think he's pretty much, and I think it happened with a couple other people there. It's like you have shells plus a point. So I thought that was kind of cool. But Zaka is a longtime Raccoon Amy player, and he definitely has a lot of the really sick resets and really gross tech. He's pretty much up there, like his Amy comebacks are up there with, I mean, all of the Amy greats.
Yeah, with full schedule of the boys.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's one of the shells that I think is super slept on, even this late on. Especially, I think Wednesday night fight. I think it's funny how many raccoon players they have there. It's definitely like the land of the raccoon.
Overstreet. Or
Yeah, I mean, trying to think who all. I
I
want to say
think
there's like 4 of them at least.
well, they have like I said, we would definitely be fooling ourselves if we said it was anything like it was before. But they have tons of people still out there playing, and they are active and have a lot of room for innovation. Streamberger is playing Thor Shuma versus Iron God. He's playing Thor Rocket Raccoon. So yeah, another raccoon player, by the way, since you were just talking about that. And then of course Clock, who's like one of the original innovators of top tier. And then you have this, as Sactat puts it, he's got the designator Raccoon Amy show, which is like really remarkable. And yeah, that's kind of crazy, that they have that still going on, that kind of level of innovation into their meta. We'll revisit that and kind of decide, if they're really, if we kind of really believe in it, or whatever. Is it just kind of hocus pocus, middle tier guys fighting it out? But yeah, pretty interesting to see that out there. And then did anybody else say anything about Wednesday night fights? I wanted to shout them out. Like I said, I'll get the link in the stream here in just a minute, and I'll also have it in the description of this video, so you can mark the stream and be able to catch it next time. But anything else? Anybody else before Never Give Up?
Well, I think this is the one time that he's not in the chat talking about how he wants shout-outs, but shout-out to Iron God. I think he actually
oh yeah,
Clock out this time.
He did beat Clock. He beat Clock. And he was in the online tournament, which we'll talk at the end of the segment. But yeah, so shout-outs to Iron God, Socal Iron God. He is in every week asking for a shout-out. He's not here, but we'll run it back for him as soon as I see him in the chat. We'll definitely shout him out again. But yeah. No. We are generous people.
This is a one-time thing.
No, okay. Well, on the record, all these heartless people didn't want to give you a second chance, Iron God. But I'm still in your camp. So yeah,
it's in the archives.
It's in the archives. Shout outs to him. Never give up. KBR versus. Help me with this. I'm gonna lean on you, Jonas. Is it Moise? How do you say it? Moise?
It's Moises.
Moises.
Oh, with the S. It's Moise. It's like saying, like, instead of Hayden, it's Hayde.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm gonna leave this with you for a second. I've talked to Kane a few times about him. He's a Taskmaster Viper Amy.
Taskmaster Viper Amy. Yeah.
Okay. And Kane swears up and down that he's like super nasty. So can you explain a little bit about how this monstrosity of a team works?
I mean, the DAC is for some reason just ridiculous. From Taskmaster to Viper, for some reason he gets to 1 million, and he just kills, and then he has Amy for the assist. I think he uses the OTG for the combos with Taskmaster too, and he's actually really good. I talked to him and he told me that he's playing a little bit more Street Fighter, but he still got top 2 at NGU, and that region apparently was hella hungry to beat Kane. So good stuff to Kane for actually winning. I was giving him like crap last week, but I'm happy that he won. Like he has that off his chest now.
Yeah, because we were smacking on him a little bit. It's one thing to be world champ, and you're not even taking down the tournaments in your own backyard, and it's just you and your rival out there, and you're supposed to make statements. But yeah, shout outs to Kane for getting it done out there. He's not our champ this year, but still a fighting champ, and it's good to see him continuing his dominance. So shout outs to him. But we also had Marcus, really quickly, do you have anything to chime in as a fellow Taskmaster player on how this man runs his squad, and do you think it makes any sense at all?
I was gonna ask. The assist is interesting because it just seems like he's just playing good ass neutral with Taskmaster, and then Jonas says is when he DHCs out, then he has basically bootleg Viper Dumami using Taskmaster arrows as a plasma beam. But I'm looking here at the results, and I see another point Taskmaster.
Yeah, he played him immediately.
Yeah, that team is even more.
Tell him.
Looking. Taskmaster, Phoenix Wright, Beautiful Joe.
Yeah. So that's how the video. I'm gonna put the video in the chat, but that's how the top 8 starts. It starts with Moises playing his Taskmaster. I know you're really leaping back in time whenever you start this video, but it's Taskmaster, Viper, Amy versus Taskmaster, Phoenix Wright, and Beautiful Joe in that order, right?
Isn't it funny how we were talking that in Socal there's a lot of Rocky Raccoons, but from Mexico to Chile, it's just Taskmaster City.
That's so. I think about that
move.
Yeah, you're in the wrong place, man. I think about that all the time. It's really there's a lot of just wild diversification in the game, and it's really phenomenal to see, now, how everybody has, really, who's stuck with their stuff is now so perfect and so developed with, all their wacky, orders of their low-tier teams, because we're 5 years now. We're 5 years, and people are still playing their stuff.
You know what my homie Wolf told me? Apparently, in, Mexico to South America, they play Taskmaster and Captain America a lot because they're really... King of Fighters, that's literally what he told me. People play them because they're similar to how you would play King of Fighters.
Well, I don't know. I mean, however they decided, good for them, because it makes for a great Marvel. And when I opened up that top 8 video, I was like, "This is perfect. This is everything I wanted." So 2016 is popping off, man. It's funny, it's wild, and a lot of skill on display too. Anything else about Never Give Up before I hop on to our next monthly tournament? I didn't think so.
Nothing on that specifically, but I think it would be cool to see a map of character picks by region, because I do think that it tends to be regional, which is kind of interesting, because you see a lot of lower tier characters clustered. Southeast had a lot of X-23s for a long time, and then you have Socal with the Rockets, and then Chile with the Taskmasters. So it's kind of weird how that works out.
Florida with the Dooms, and New York with the Morgans.
Everywhere with the Dooms. I mean, you can't really...
With the good Dooms.
Yeah, we even had the Doom. Well, we got Static Alpha, the best Doom. So...
Oh.
Yikes. Okay. Yikes. Bluegrass Doom. But, he's kind of an outlier anyway, so I don't really know what our region... I mean, there's just a few of us, and we all play Wolverine, Viper, Spider-Man. So, I mean, whatever. There's no trend there, but... there is a trend in the Chicago monthly series ULT 10, and that trend is that it is over. I don't know if they're moving the event or what's going on, but they did their Swan Song tournament at their EXP Gaming IL venue. Joey D won.
What?
I know.
Who was there?
Super Axel got second. So it was a 0-0 grand final.
So he plays Zero May Cry, doesn't he?
Yeah, he plays Zero May Cry. So yeah, that's unfortunate that Joey won, but congratulations to Joey, I guess.
Yes.
Leon Ultimate was there, which we haven't seen him in a while. Shouts Leon Ultimate.
Yeah.
He did not win. Compound X, another Chicago staple. Frankie G. Brightside was playing. Shouts to Brightside. Melos. And Eli the Curry. And I do not know who got third, but
Kevin didn't make it out?
I don't think so, no. I don't think Kevin was there. I looked through the bracket, and I did not see him, so I'm going to assume no. But,
that's a pretty solid lineup, though. That's good.
I know.
Character diversity. You get some of the top tier teams and some of those unique teams. So.
Yeah. No, I mean I definitely agree with you 100%. That sucks that tournament is shutting down because I guess the building got sold that they're doing it in, and so they're gonna do something else with the building. So they basically, I guess, I don't know if they're moving it or what, but yeah, very unfortunate because it was always a lot of Phil in chat, none of that. Yeah, but it sucks to lose that venue, and I went a couple of times and had a great time. But
I hope somebody, if not a person, some venue steps up because like I'm not trying to blow up Chicago, but like they're a very big city to not necessarily have like a big scene.
oh yeah,
Like when I don't think of like, oh, Chicago has all these like great Street Fighter and great, anime. And not to say that they don't have good players from those areas, but I only think of Chicago for Marvel, and it's mostly as of the past past year or so. And I know a lot of them roll with that ULT/EXP tag, so it's kind of unfortunate that they have lost like a staple in their community. And I hope that, like I said, I hope some venue or somebody is able to host sessions so they can at least get together and continue to play, because I know that has to suck having the venue closed down. That
yeah,
basically holds down Marvel.
basically, yeah. And it was a great venue, and that's a classic fighting game problem. Venues close down or move away or whatever. So certainly not anything new to us, but still unfortunate to see. And Joey, hitting a big stride in his play, beating a lot of high-profile players, beating me. Wow, big deal. So he's really coming along, and it sucks, that he's losing his backyard that he worked really hard on as well. But shout out to them. I checked out the top 8. I put the link in the chat. I'll have it in the description of the video, so you can check it out yourself. But definitely worth watching. I want to hit on one more thing, and there's not a whole lot of substance I could really say on it other than it's really cool, and I'm glad it's happening. And shout outs, second round shout outs to Socal Iron God if you somehow managed to slide into this chat. Also shout outs to Wolf and Shigandu, the boys who are always around. But definitely shout outs to Socal Iron God. He was playing in this online tournament. There was an online Marvel tournament in 2016 on PlayStation Network, which I think is
It's actually pretty regular.
That's what I saw. I saw there's like a series, right?
Yeah. The Reddit's been hosting it for years now.
Forever, yeah.
Yeah, and they'll alternate between PSN and XPL.
And that's awesome because I had no idea that even existed, and I watched the whole thing. The quality was a little bit tough. You're gonna have to hang tough with the quality because But I was reading the description, and the guy says he's working on it. Getting some better quality out of his hardware. But super sick to watch, and seeing online play in 2016, it's like. Because sometimes, you wonder, they're doing, some really crazy stuff, and you think, how could anybody possibly ever do that? But then you also, see where, oh, you're playing online, so you're doing that, that online stuff, and it's just you don't... Tussif, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, hey, what's up? You know what I'm talking about with the dirty, nasty online stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we obviously cut our teeth in Xbox Live, but it's kind of weird to see that in tournament play, because that's, where it is. It's an online tournament. But fun to watch. By the way, welcome to the show.
Hi guys, I'm back. Yeah, sorry, had to deal with a lot of stuff, including getting locked out. Blah.
Yeah.
But we're here. We're talking about Marvel, and I saw a good bit of that online tournament on my way back, and that was super sick to watch. We're shouting at Iron God, but shout outs to him losing in Grand Prix.
He did. That's what I was gonna say. He gave up. He literally quit. He was like, no.
For the viewers that are watching, if y'all haven't heard of Dominidix, he has a weird spelling to it, like a lot of people with their tags.
Of course.
He showed up big. Dormammu Jam Session is something that you don't really get to see often.
He won from winner's bracket.
Yeah, he had the setups. He had pretty good neutral. He wasted Raccoon every time he was touched, which is super important because Iron God really but he's definitely all about the shenanigans whenever.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, but he managed to run it so hard against him, just being solid with the weird team, Dante, Dormammu, Doctor Strange.
Ugly.
That eventually Iron God picked Morrigan.
Yeah.
I've never seen him pick that stuff in my life.
I know, right?
and then proceeded to just like taunt his way to death as he was just getting Dark Manor spammed on. So like, shout outs to Dominitix. Like I've never played him online or heard of him, but he definitely looks solid. I really liked his play.
And I just like,
Regardless of all the online shenanigans, like I don't think he was really trying to play online. He was trying to play the game.
but Iron God, as you missed it while we were talking about it before, he did beat Clockwork at Wednesday Night Fights. So I
Really?
also have to give him the bumps for that. Yeah, he beat him 3-0.
True. Yeah. Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
so like we can chalk up the win to online lag then.
Yeah.
Clearly
Protect-
the tournament veteran doesn't deserve
Protect Iron God. That's not what I'm saying. Actually, mad bumps to the Dante, dude. I actually watched the grand finals as well, and it's so crazy to see that, like, that's the team he's like, I'm sticking with it, you know, like, on the internet. And it's Dante, Dormammu, Strange. And he...
You know what he did that I thought was pretty smart that I actually am probably going to steal is, you know how people get hit by missiles on purpose?
Yeah.
To try and reset their actions? He did the spam H move in the air, which keeps him up, got hit by missiles, then did it again.
Yeah.
And by that time, he stalled all of Astral out. Where I'm like, oh, okay, that's a pretty decent way to stall Astral. I'm going to definitely do that. So thanks for the tech, homie.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was, like, it's, like, at some level, it was, you know, dirty online stuff, but at another level, it was like, wow, this game is really evolving, even on the internet. That's crazy. We were talking about before, and Never Give Up, all the Taskmaster nonsense. There's a Taskmaster Phoenix Wright, Rocket Raccoon player, and there was a Taskmaster Viper Amy player, and then, you know...
it was Phoenix Wright, Beautiful Joe.
Oh, Beautiful Joe, not Raccoon. You're right. So way even uglier than what I said. And yeah, it's just wild to see that going on. You can register for the online tournament on Reddit, correct? r/MVC3. Is that correct, Kyle?
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see posts on there for people for callouts for those. And on top of I don't know if we're still running them now, but for a long time we were also doing ladder matches. So even if you
that's tight.
be on for the tournament, there's an ongoing ladder, and you just post your results and have standings. So it's really weird because everyone's like, "Oh man, online is the worst thing in the world," and it's not great. But there are so many people. It's kind of like I can't even think of a good. It's just there are people that have lived in that environment for so long that they're doing like this.
They're unfazed, man.
That you would never expect to see doing, like people doing full like difficult infinites and stuff, like really hard like complex Magneto combos and stuff. Just I don't know. You have to see it to believe it. But if you don't have a way to play locally, it's definitely an option, and there's definitely still a community of people that are playing online. So check out the Reddit, find the ladder, find the tournaments when they're running. Just post if you're looking for matches. People are always willing just to hop on and play if they're available. So there's definitely a resource that as the game gets older that we should probably start relying on a little more.
And that's true.
Even
that's definitely true. Yeah, I mean, it sucks, but like, man, like, it's competition and it's fun. Like, I was watching these, and I can understand, you know, playing it and being used to optimal conditions, getting really frustrated with latency, but watching them play and like seeing the stuff that they were doing, I don't know, it does make you want to play the game. So like signing up for an online tournament really doesn't sound that bad. As well as, you know, just the online lobbies, ladder matches, and stuff that get posted in the Reddit. So very cool. Something that I'll certainly pay more attention to. Yes, it was the Chilean guy, Moises. And Wolf, we are about to get to SCR. We have a lot to say about SCR, but first, everybody cool. I'm gonna go ahead and just move us on to the fall.
One more.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Also, it happens at once a month, but check out GB.
Gwinnett Brawl. Ooh yeah.
Yes.
I actually did watch that this past weekend on Saturday, and you know, it's the same cast of characters you see. You know, the Too Much Damage, that Vib, Blackberg, Musa, Mactastic, or whatever tag he's going by. But check those guys out too. It was pretty hype. One of the homies too, Jay, was there, and he did some work early on, beating. He beat Blackwork, and let's see, Blackwork, and he beat Datville. But then he
Ooh.
lost to Musa, and then Blackwork got his run back. But yeah, they usually have a pretty solid stream going on, so check them out too. And apparently next month is going to be pretty hype.
Oh, it's gonna be super hype.
Super hype.
Yeah, they're bringing Florida, right?
Florida, so like Schultz and Mix Up and Korean Dan, and I'm guessing Kyle's going to be there, and hopefully
I'm
some of
definitely
the Midwest talent will come down. So like I think Static Alpha was talking about coming down and possibly riding down with Ribby Martin, and I'm assuming Dano would come then too. So hopefully, maybe even like Pink Lemonade, like maybe South Carolina will show too. So it seems like
Yeah, it's shaping up.
be on the
to
lookout.
regional.
Be on the lookout for that. It'll be a pretty hype tournament, and like he said, yeah, it'll be basically a Southeast regional. So get to see some of that action. So
People still driving, man. People still driving hours to play in tournaments for this game. It's pretty sick. I definitely heard Brandon talking about wanting to go. He asked me if I wanted to go. I don't know. Everybody knows I'm pretty lazy. Everybody knows I'm pretty lazy. I don't know.
You need that run back. I'm gonna start blasting that.
Oh, you're gonna be there? Yeah, I do need that run back. You're right. I don't know. I'll think about it. I probably don't have anything else to do, honestly. So, not that I'm making it sound like, I'm not interested. I'm definitely very interested. But, yeah, it's definitely shaping up to be, as Marcus said, basically a regional for the Southeast. And I love seeing that more and more. I think regionals are freaking awesome, if you ask me, compared to majors. Like, going to regional is a blast. Guaranteed every single time. It's going to run within time, and it's gonna have great talent and great hangs.
No, it's not gonna run on time. You've never been to Gwinnett Brawl.
Well, that's because Gwinnett Brawl always, for some reason, they think they're gonna have less people, and then I don't know, they just don't plan for time.
I mean, last event was their biggest event. They totaled over 250 people packed in a card shop. Like they're
That's
only
insane.
running with I mean, big shout out.
That's
to them.
actually
They're
insane.
Making it work based on what they got. It was homebrewed for from a few of our Marvel players back in Georgia, and to see what it's grown into now is just kind of it's inspiring. Really,
it was like not no knock or anything, but it was like the third tournament that when it first came out, and now it's like the premier Georgia tournament. It's like
the premier.
Yeah, it's like the only thing that's consistently run for fighting games. Like their Smash, they get so many Smash players too, and it's just crazy. Like 645 basically is a Smash streamer now because he has to basically focus on that from when he gets there to when they shut down. He can't play. He has no time to play anything else but stream Smash.
Yeah.
And
what's that?
I was gonna say, and they have a whole bunch of Korean barbecue places too.
Yeah.
So if you are into that kind of stuff, they have some dope food spots after the tournament, which is always hanging out with the homies is the most fun. So.
It's the most fun. I miss all those spots.
It's my favorite part. It's my favorite part of Final Round. Every time I try to go to Gwinnett Brawl.
I respect that. I went and I had a chance to go to a Gwinnett Brawl in March. I went for my birthday to Atlanta, and I wanted to go see everybody and play. And it was on my birthday weekend. It was on my birthday day. Could have gone down to Gwinnett Brawl and done it. And then my girlfriend sucked. So ex-girlfriend sucked. So I didn't get to go, and I didn't get to see all my friends. I'm griping about it. I'm throwing my pin down. That was totally my excuse for not going. And I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to make it up and go to the next one. But I don't know.
We'll have more birthdays.
I will have. I'm not gonna wait till March though. Especially, I don't know. It's so good now. I don't know. Maybe we'll swing out there. Anything else? Anything else for Gwinnett Brawl?
Your girlfriend sucked?
Yeah, she was bad. She was not fun.
Oh, she
was
bad. Was she bad?
No, bad.
Okay.
Bad. And
I want to choose a different way of leaning.
not great. Not good.
Oh,
and
there you go.
yeah, I was staying with K-Jock with Ray.
Yeah.
Ask him about it sometime. It was bad. It was
I
awful.
definitely will.
It was awful. So yeah, that was my last Georgia experience. So I don't know. Maybe it's time for a new one. Final round's an awful long way away. I don't want to wait that long. So shout outs to Gwinnett Brawl. Any other quick community stream shout outs we want to give out while we're thinking about it?
Well, I don't have any other shoutouts, but I'll definitely say if we missed you on this show when we're talking about community shoutouts, let us know. We're definitely going to try and boost the signal on all of our
Please.
players a lot more moving forward. Because
Everything.
and if you have the option to, sorry, Max is over in the chat complaining.
I know.
If you have the option to record the matches or to stream a local tournament, even if like it doesn't have to be awesome quality, you don't have to have commentary. Put it up there. Like we need all the Marvel we can get, and it's only going to get more and more true as it goes on. So like we're all playing for the love of the game, and anything we get to watch, like just throw it out, and we'll shout it out for you.
I'm playing for that esports money.
No, yeah. Well, a lot of us are playing Street Fighter 5. I watch a lot of Street Fighter 5, but that's because I don't have a whole lot of Marvel to watch. Now I've got a lot more. I'm excited to watch Wednesday Night Fights again. So that'd be sick. I don't know what time they start. Does anybody know what time they start usually?
After I go to sleep.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of how I feel too. It starts pretty late, but you know, sometimes I'll be up, sometimes I'll catch it. Anything else before we hit TFC? We've got a lot of details on the Fall Classic, which is good because we don't have a lot of details on SCR, which is bad. Thanks a lot, VIA. Out there playing in tournaments, not updating your website. But the Fall Classic this weekend? Yes?
Yes.
This Friday through Sunday, Marvel is going to be on 3 different streams. So pay attention, listen up, and I'm gonna put this in the description of the video as well, so you can have this on hand. But it's gonna be on 3 different streams across the weekend. If you want to see teams Friday night, that's gonna be 8 p.m. on Bifu Techie. Friend of Marvel. Shout out to Bifu. So you can find teams Friday night. Marvel will be there. You can catch it on Bifu Techie. Next day, Saturday, pools start at 12 p.m. There's 4 pools, I think. That's going to be on KPB Live. Kick Punch Block Live. I think that's what it stands for. KPB Live. So, yeah, I think so. That's why I saw their shirts. And that's what they're going to say.
Like Sean Aquino and those New York dudes.
Yeah. So they're going to be streaming TFC Marvel on Saturday. And we're going to get all the pools, which is nice. And then we're going to have Sunday, top 8 is going to be on the mainstream, which is going to be Funky Pete. So catch it 4 o'clock on Funky Pete stream. So a lot of Marvel. Is anybody going to TFC this year in this call? I don't think so, right?
Dude, this is the first TFC I'm going to miss.
Yeah, Marcus, I think I first met you at TFC, didn't I?
CEO, and you took all my tech.
Oh, that's right, I did. The CEO, and then we met again at TFC. TFC, interesting
turn. Ray at TFC.
You first met Ray?
When we had the Team Mark Salty Suite, and that weekend was godlike.
That was good. Major. That was my first major.
Cookout?
That was your Jonas. That was your first major. When did you go?
2013, the first ever TFC. I met Marcus.
I remember.
I met Merkel. I met.
You didn't meet me.
I met everyone.
You played Roach King. I remember your sets against Roach King night, and that was really fun to watch.
Oh yes,
that was your set against that one guy to see.
Oh,
and you were telling him what you were gonna do. No, the other guy.
Oh no, we can. Yeah, he who must not be named this week. Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah,
what happened?
I played this certain individual who can't really be talked about on the stream because we're above that. But if y'all want to find a funny set of me beating like 7 games with solo Akuma, y'all gotta check it out. It's pretty old, but God.
Come back, Akuma.
Oh man.
OMG, my Akuma was sick back then, and now it sucks. Raids is definitely way better than mine. He bodied me at Evo. I'm salty, by the way.
Hey, no, I respect that though. I respect that. Owning up to the L's.
I just have color 6. That's mine now.
That's the first color that's ever been stolen from me. I hope you realize that.
Oh, yikes.
I usually win the color battle.
Well, nobody's ever gonna play me.
It was your idea, though. It was your idea. I'm sorry.
It was.
Anybody?
Because you took it from me as CEO. So that's on you, because I was gonna keep my mouth shut because I was like, damn, SBK's gonna bother me. Like, I better not say anything about the color.
Don't bring it up.
And then you said it.
I totally forgot I won it at CEO.
It's like it kind of cancels out. It cancels out. Oh, okay. Anybody want to fight Marcus for orange?
So,
And no, ugly,
Garbage
hideous.
color.
I play orange Dante.
Also
You
ugly.
play
I
Orange
took that-
Akuma.
Very ugly.
You've been playing the wrong Akuma, man. You need to play Orange Akuma. It's so godlike.
This is
Man, I
nasty.
gotta stick it. Number 6 is where it's at. Like,
Not anymore. Now Raid has it. You don't know anything about number
He has
6.
to.
You don't know anything about color 6.
Ask me about color 6, okay?
you are the authority on Akuma colors.
Tweet us about color 6, guys. So yeah.
Tweet us about your color battles. I know we're not the only ones that play for colors.
Yeah.
God, when the first motherfucker did it, it caught on like wildfire.
It's
That is,
nasty.
like, really mean betting stakes right there.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know. That says a lot about you, you know, whenever you lose that battle. And whether you uphold it as well. So, I don't think anybody's ever going to come at me for Arthur colors. I think I'm safe.
Have you guys ever played a father-son match?
No.
You know what that is? You know what that is?
I have not. No, what's that?
It was invented in Mexico. Basically, if it's either a father-son match or a master-slave match. So
Nasty.
the way it works, yeah. Listen, the way it works is that you play a defined set, and whoever wins is the father, and then you're the son, right? So you gotta like refer to the person that beat you as dad.
So I can call Justin bad.
No,
So you're telling me-
Dad.
Oh, so he can call me dad. That's kind of
They
cute.
gotta call you dad.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
basically, like, Yomar is mine and Wolf's dad.
And my dad.
Raid is
My dad too. My dad too.
Raid is my dad.
How many kids does Omar have? Yomar is really collecting like
All the kids.
everybody. He's got 6 kids in this call. Yomar, where you at, Daddy? Come home. I haven't. Is he still playing Wolverine Taskmaster? Because that's ugly.
Who knows?
You can also do it. You can also do it like double it. Like I did it against Ramasama and I lost at final round, and then I saw at CEO, and I do it like double or nothing. So now he's my double dad.
Is it? I don't need. We don't need this fake steak.
Is he your grandpa now, or?
No, it's just his double dad.
Double dad.
It's a very, very, very strict science, Kyle. Pay attention.
Jonas has 2 daddies.
He's got 2 dads and a double dad.
I got a double dad and
Jeez.
Anyways, we've devoted way too much time to the dad economics. But yeah, so catch the Fall Classic. I'm not gonna be there this year. I went last year and the year before that. It's like a 7.5 hour drive from Kentucky. So as far as tournaments, it's like really far for me to go, and I just don't have the time to do it because I'm going to Umicon at the end of the year, which is going to be bad for a fighting game tournament. It's almost non-existent. I don't know. Have all of you heard what's happening to Umicon?
No, what's going on? That's
Wasn't
the
it
Detroit
huge? Wasn't it huge?
anime convention, right?
Yeah. You know, last year they had like record attendance for their fighting game tournament. It was going really well, I guess, and then this year they decided to basically drop it. So it's all community run. There's not going to be a stream. There's not going to be a stage to play on. There's not going to be pop bonuses. There's just going to be guys running the paper brackets, and they're going to play it out, and whoever shows up plays, and the money will be on the table.
Basically a local.
Basically a local. Umicon is a local. It's a
What
big,
is-
the big, huge anime convention. Like,
Oh,
huge.
okay.
Is that why you're going?
Me?
Yeah.
For anime?
Why are you going?
Yuck, dude. Gross. No way. I hate anime. I'm going because that's where Elgod's from. That's where the boys in Elgod are at. So I get an excuse to go to Michigan and hang out and see all my friends. And
Anime. I
And-
see. I thought you were like me.
what's that supposed to
I
mean?
thought we were brothers.
What does that mean? Dude, anime... Let's not do this. We don't need to do this here on my show. I don't
Terrible.
yeah, I would say no, but it sucks that the tournament's going to be basically going away. But yeah, so that's why I won't be making it to the Fall Classic. Marcus, you obviously moved, so you know you're way farther away now. But we also have SCR coming up, which is not this weekend, but the next weekend. So you will have was originally not supposed to have. Ooh, there's an echo coming through somewhere.
Oh, sorry, that might be me. I wasn't.
That's okay.
I was just gonna say real quick.
Go ahead.
If you are in the area for TFC, they do have emergency registration, so you can still, even though the online registration is closed, you can still get.
Oh,
in.
sick. Good.
Um,
A lot of tournaments are phasing that out.
Do we know who's like going to TFC? Like players.
I guarantee there'll be some New York players. You'll
New
see
York
like
for
the,
sure.
The North Carolina players, so like Sondelight.
I know Rushkin's going.
Yeah, who's the other dude? The Firebrand player.
Crescent.
Kevin.
Preston.
Yeah,
Yeah, his name. Oh yeah, Will Richards will probably be there.
Yeah, so a lot of Southeast Tech, lot of New York heads will be there. I'm not sure if Brandon's going, so but if he does, Airborne will probably go. Shout out to Funky P who just gave us the host. We were just talking about you earlier, man. Talking about TFC now. Thank you for the host, but yeah, I'd still look forward to the Fall Classic, and definitely if you like Kyle said, if you're local, show out, turn up. It's not too late. And, it's emergency reg for Marvel, so it's probably not going to be that bad. Anything else? Yeah. SCR, like I said, it's not this Saturday. Next Saturday, 14th through the 16th. That will be streamed on Level Up Live. Originally, Marvel 3 was cut from this SCR lineup, was re-added afterwards. I guess maybe their Street Fighter 5 prediction wasn't as ludicrous as they thought it was going to be. I don't know what the stipulation is or the circumstance, but you can expect the usual.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, that did happen. Remember? That was stupid and sucked, but
basically they dropped Marvel and KI, and
they dropped everything, dude. SCR used to.
It was basically
run, like,
Smash
a
and
dozen
Street Fighter.
And they were just gonna run Smash. And
because
Street
it's gonna be at the esports arenas, and they were having Smash 4 and Street Fighter and MK and Guilty Gear and everything else. So they decided to hey, we're gonna not put Marvel and KI just in case this builds up. So basically everybody just complained about KI and Marvel until Baye added it. But 2 days ago,
did he add them both back in?
Yeah, there's both. There's everything. But he canceled Melee 2 days ago because apparently there's a conflict with another event in Socal.
What?
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So there's another Smash tournament running that weekend.
Yeah, exactly. A big time Melee tournament. So he just yo, you know what? You guys can go to that tournament. I just won't host Marvel with I would just won't host Melee with that CRTs.
I'm just glad that he decided to bring Marvel back because I know a lot of people were saying well, if they're not going to have Marvel, I'm not going. And there was a lot of known players, players that only play Marvel.
Yeah.
I think Ramasama had said that. Killer Kai and Clockwork were yo, what's the deal? Why are you not having Marvel?
Listen, look. I don't know, I don't want to talk make this into a big discussion, but we gotta be honest. California has always been the best region for Marvel.
Yeah, so, historically, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yo, you trying to start a fight?
You trying to scrap?
But what I'm saying is, how are you not gonna host Marvel in in a scene that still plays Marvel? I can understand if you don't run it, I don't know, in Texas or something, but how are you not gonna run it in California? So basically, everybody complained until they added it.
Yeah, it would have definitely been not a good look because if he would have not run it, TFC's really, I guess, these are the two first majors after Evo, and if one of the two didn't run Marvel, then maybe other tournaments were well, it wasn't that big of a deal at SCR. We don't have to run Marvel.
Yeah, and that sucks.
Because Spiral. Because we saw CEO Otaku didn't run Marvel, even though we voted on this very show that Marvel is anime.
Yeah, exactly. We earned our right. That was the whole point of the vote last year. But, I don't know, Marvel didn't necessarily need to be at CEO Otaku this year. We know that he invited us last year. He was a little bit afraid of the numbers. So he wanted to pad out stats a little bit. But he had a great, successful event. Anime showed up big this year. Shout out to CEO Otaku. But I kind of agree with you guys. The sentiment is that Marvel still is pretty big in SoCal. And also, is traditionally dominated by California. I had an interesting question posed to me. This is, kind of not related to SCR in general. Especially because Justin now no longer lives in SoCal, but he's traditionally probably, you would say, the best player from SoCal. If you consider all-time involvement. Chris is there now, so it kind of makes things weird. But you still think of him as the king of New York, so it's it's. I'm just saying. But what he said to me, and he did not follow Marvel at all, and he came in as Street Fighter 5. And would everybody in the call say that Justin, historically, would you say that he's a Street Fighter guy or a Marvel guy?
Marvel.
Marvel
Wait,
2
you talking
champ.
about this generation generation? Or
No, I'm talking about. Think about him. If you looked at his career and you said, "What are you? Are you a Street Fighter guy? Or are you a Marvel guy?"
I
You
mean,
say what?
He's the king of
Justin would
Marvel.
say Marvel, but I would say Street Fighter personally.
You would say he's a
I
Street
would-
Fighter
Well,
guy.
Evo moment. He's a part of that. Like I think of that first, and then I think of his match against Yipes in Marvel 2.
So does that change anybody else's answer at all? Does any Jonas? What do you think? I'm just gonna go
He lost in that Evo moment.
real
I
quick.
know, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Real quick. Jonas, Marvel or Street Fighter?
Marvel.
Marvel or Street Fighter?
I just think he's a fighting game player.
You're under the gun. You're under the gun. You're under the gun. You're under the gun. You have to pick one. Just for the sake of this.
That's Marvel.
Okay. And to see what would you say?
I'd say he's a Marvel dude.
Okay.
It's like the way
Now-
he plays like Street Fighter, it's like he's used to like reacting to stuff that's so fast, and that comes a lot from his Marvel play and being able to quell the chaos that is Marvel. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes
You
sense.
see the way he plays in Street Fighter. It's like he's able to play under such like a calmness most of the time because the game's like slow for him. Like he's reacting to people's dashes consistently. He's always like whiff punishing you like immediately. Like you need those type of reactions to be able to deal with all the craziness that like Marvel 2 was, and like be able to still
Right.
reactionary snipe and everything. Like,
And he
I
went
feel
7
like,
years undefeated. If you want
Yeah.
to talk about just accolade, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's,
I feel like that was the game where he really came into his own as like the number one, just like undisputed, you can't even touch me sort of phase. Like that's kind of what Justin's always been known for, to be like that untouchable sort of dude. That really started in like Marvel.
Yeah.
And not to say, and like the way he plays the Street Fighter, you know, is like he tries to play that untouchable, like, you know, spacing, but you know, we saw at ESO that dude can be touched by, you know, Tokido.
he can't
So,
catch
like,
it.
I'm not gonna make this a Street Fighter talk, but I'm just saying, damn, dude, like I
So
really
I'm
can't wait.
here.
That's hard.
I'm here at like the Evo 2016 results, and I'm trying to see if it's in the Street Fighter 5 top 8, and I just he's on the Marvel top 8, you know.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if we want to look at results, and it's, I mean, I'm not saying he's not good at Marvel. I'm just saying, me personally, like I didn't play Marvel 2. I wasn't around for Marvel 2. When I think of Justin Wong, I'm thinking about him in the life that I've had in the FGC. He's a Street Fighter player to me.
Okay.
So
All right.
I understand what you guys are saying.
that's
Yeah, I
fair.
get it
That's
too.
fair,
No,
yeah.
I see your.
I want to hear what Kyle. Did you had something to add? Has that already been covered, or do you still want to say what you were gonna kind of nuance your position a little bit? What were you gonna say?
I mean,
I have a point to this. Totally.
He's a fighting game player, like through and through. Like he knows how to read opponents in those paper rock scissors fighting game moments, and he understands spacing universally as a concept. It's not really. I don't think it's
performance-wise.
Okay.
Performance-wise, sure, but I'm talking about like his like ethos. You know, like when do you
like,
think?
I want to add like to add off of what Kyle was saying. Like a good example of how he's just like a fighting game player. I've seen this dude enter like every tournament at an anime convention, like MomoCon back in like 2015, and I saw him enter Guilty Gear, and I'm like, Justin, do you even mess with Guilty Gear? And he's like, I know Guilty Gear. Just, like,
yeah,
super plain.
yeah, I
And then
know.
he proceeds to win with Potemkin, who was like the worst character in that game. And
Yeah.
I asked, like, that's the sort of player he's at. He's played so many
Wow.
different games.
Okay, I'm really glad that you just shared that because 100% same situation, and we had ours. What's that?
We lost him.
We lost you for a quick.
Oh,
second.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I think we caught a little bit of lag spike, but same exact situation. He came to our tournament in Louisville at Fandom Fest, entered Injustice, which had a $250 pop bonus. There was only 11 people who entered and had $250 pop bonus. And he entered Injustice, and I said, Justin, do you play this game? And he said, I know Injustice. And he picked Juggernaut. Or Doomsday, not Juggernaut. Doomsday.
Juggernaut.
Picked Doomsday and literally just went up with like the low one and just like slapped at people's legs and then like did like raw Doomsday stuff and won the tournament. And like people were there who were like, you know, like decent Injustice players, you know, I'm sure that were like, I'm going to show up and win my local tournament. And Justin just cleaned them out and said, I know Injustice. So, I don't know, maybe you're right, but The reason why I asked is because just to get this, to wrap this up, is to say I was talking with my friend and he said, and I said, he's a Marvel guy, and this guy was like, he's like, to a whole generation of Street Fighter V players, there's a pretty good chance that they don't have any idea that he ever even played Marvel. And there's a whole, he was saying like he knows people that are new, just came in, when Street Fighter V started. He doesn't tweet about Marvel anymore. He doesn't really talk about it that much anymore. None of them have any idea that he's ever even played the game. So
I mean, he won.
That's funny.
He won. What is it, Manila?
yeah, but they're not watching that. They're not watching that. They're not. They're not watching the Marvel stream.
Was it a CPT event?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a CPT event.
Premiere?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, wait.
But it was It was at an ambiguous time, and it was like it was European,
Hey,
so.
we'll concede in the middle. Like, it probably might have turned on some other people who haven't watched Marvel, like, see that Justin Wong was on,
No,
Some
yeah.
people might have learned about it.
Agreed, but for us, like at best, it's an argument. But for some of us, some true believers, some real Justin fans, know that he's a Marvel dude. He's a Marvel guy. He's a never give up, 7-year win streak Marvel player. One of the best of our franchise. But there's a whole generation of Justin fans right now who are virtually clueless to his history as a Marvel player.
Yeah, it's like the kids that are alive right now that don't know about, like, tape recorders existing or VCRs. They, like, totally
But is that us, bro? Are we the VCRs and the tape recorders? Is that what Marvel
we are.
is?
Do you remember it?
Yeah. I don't know.
Welcome to
welcome
aging, man.
welcome
We're
to
getting
being old.
That that sucks.
Remember Boppets? Boppets were fun.
Bop it, twist it.
Yeah, I'm
People
just saying.
that, like, didn't grow up without internet. It's like you didn't have to ask permission to get on the internet because it didn't disconnect you from your phone line.
Yeah, no, I just saying, like, think about this though. Think about this seriously though. I'm not saying he's done, but Justin's no spring chicken. He's 31, 30-ish. He's pushing it. Who knows when Marvel 4 is gonna drop off? Or if that whole conversation.
2019.
Okay, 2019. So who even knows that Justin's gonna?
2019.
Is he gonna compete in it? He could have a job doing something else. Like, he might not be able to.
He's gonna be competing in Marvel 4.
I mean,
He might not be great at that point.
but what I'm saying is people might not ever know that. I'm just saying going forward. It's like, I don't know. We're in a weird part of our history where, like, that is happening. So
Hey, let me put this point up. You mentioned Marvel 4. I think, like, not only just us, but a lot of people are really waiting for that to come out. What I mean?
absolutely, yeah.
Like, a lot of people, like, and I think in a game meta right now that honestly is, like, pretty kind of stale. Like, it's not really, like, that fun to watch Street Fighter V. It's really fun to play it, but watching it's, like, sort of different. And man, if Marvel 4 comes out, like, I guarantee you a lot of people are gonna play it, and who knows what the hell's gonna happen.
Yeah, we fantasize about that a lot. But what were you gonna say, Jonas?
Justin, he obviously he's not talking about Marvel 3, but and he's not like there's no real reason for him to, like, talk or tweet about it. But we gotta, like, keep in mind that he's a sponsored player and he needs to focus on where the money is.
Oh, for sure.
Especially the money isn't in Marvel 3.
No, totally. I'm not saying that he's wrong.
It'll be in Marvel 4 though.
Yeah, it'll be definitely. When it happens, it'll be there. But I know, like, he really loves the game, and he's told me, like, he loves playing it. It's just, there's really he really needs to, like, focus on the CPT, and maybe we'll see him after Capcom Cup is over. We'll see him, like, more active in the community. But as of right now, we gotta, like, keep in mind that those guys are focusing on something else.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's fair. I'm not saying at all, and this, like I said, this is just a conversation with my friend, and I thought it was interesting. I'm not saying at all that he's not doing the right thing, or that he's being unfair, or anything like that. But it is interesting to know that he is, one of our most storied, players, and one of our most important historical figures to the game, and one of our still best players. But a lot of people just have no idea. They just know him as a Street Fighter V guy, and they've probably definitely seen Evo Moment 37 that's way bigger than his comeback in Marvel 2, but which is still big. But it's I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah.
The Marvel 2 comeback was the Captain America.
The
no,
Cyclops.
Cyclops. Yeah. Sorry.
Cyclops against
never
Yipes.
give up.
Entire team.
His entire team, and that's so impossibly difficult.
No, and you know what? It's really funny too, because like the way he played it is just like how he plays his Akuma. He like does nothing.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
then sees you do something and then supers. It's like he.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah.
Like just to talk about that moment for a second, like it's so cool how it's just like the same type of person just carries over in game after game after game. Like
he's
probably
dialed
the
in,
only
man.
person who's really able to do that. Yeah, he's dialed in.
Well,
He's been doing it for so long.
Yipes got hit with a lot of DPs though.
Yeah, and that's hard though. That's hard to do, and that's respect. They hit him with those gene splice. I that's hard, and I don't know. I'm not ragging on Justin at all by bringing this up. I just thought it was an interesting exchange, because it kind of dawned on me. I was like, oh man, you're right. There's a ton of people who are now EG Justin Wong fans and don't really know or care, that he was a Marvel champion, and I don't know. It's just weird. It's very weird, but. Yeah. Anything else?
We'll probably see him at SCR. We'll probably see him at.
Oh yeah, he'll be at SCR. Yeah, and we'll, he'll still be on our screens.
SCR, it'll be really hard. Like Cloud, Supernoon, Wolf is going too.
Yeah, Wolf's going.
Actually, quick shout out to the Squirtle Squad guys. I think it's Psychelic, Arithmetic, Supernoon, and Cloud. They actually sponsored Wolf to go to.
Oh hell yeah.
Socal, yeah. So they're huge shout outs to them for making it happen. Like Wolf really deserves that chance, I think. So it'll be
come a long way.
Yeah.
Come a long way, Esteban. I definitely remember playing you in 2012, and definitely Wolf is one of the most improved players coming out of that region. So shouts to him. That's a great opportunity. Yeah. Anything else, guys? Anybody else want to hit on the West Coast? Pony's going? Oof, nasty.
Yeah, Pony's going.
One of the best in Mexico, of course.
So I want to see that.
Well, good. Shout out to Mexico. SoCal Regional is going to be a sick event. Unfortunately, like I said, we don't have nearly as many details to give you about when it's going to be happening. But yeah, great talk about SoCal scene in general. We talked about their Wednesday Night Fight stream and how the meta is kind of developing out there. It's a pretty good segue into our next point. You guys ready to talk some characters? Because we've got some interesting, as I mentioned at the head of the stream. As I mentioned at the head of the stream, we've got some interesting content, I'll say, that came from the community. Tweeted out by Permavermin. Let me pull it up here. In the fanciest, most futuristic Marvel way you'll ever see in your life. Feast your eyes on this, guys. Boom! There it is! That took a second. We figured it out, but there it is, square in the center of your screen. It's what did we call it? What are we saying it's called?
Viability chart.
Viability chart. Okay, so that's interesting. As you can see, there's a legend equipped. Blue dot means that character has 1 Evo. Green dot, you're pretty likely to see it. Red, not viable, is what they say. And then
no, Dante has a dot. He hasn't actually won though, but
right.
that was disclaimed pretty early on.
Right. Permavermin, the person who tweeted it out, like I said, she also said that this was not the Dante was not supposed to be on there. That was mistakenly given to Flocker, but was rescinded. And then also it doesn't have the DLC on there. So that's also something to add. But not really interested in the total specifics of that. Just kind of want to visit this idea of viability. So first of all, does anybody have any obvious objections to this? Do you think that someone who on here is marked should be not viable? Like that's disgusting. How could this character be considered on the list? Or anybody that thinks that maybe Cinco or Iron Fist should be moved off? Let's start there. Can we say that's our bottom standard? Are we comfortable with setting that?
Well, my body picked up Cinco and he's been getting time, so it's not viable at all.
Okay, so exactly.
Really
yeah.
He's been trying really hard with that character.
Bad, really bad, really bad.
I wanted to add another character that's not viable.
What's that?
Super Scroll?
Ghost Rider.
You think Ghost Rider's not viable? Even though proven good matchup.
I don't think you can build a team around him that will be able to win Evo.
Okay, so I'll
Where's Sagtap though?
Yeah.
What are we considering? Yeah, like what's our definition of viable?
Well, that's okay.
Evo?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying now. That's what I wanted to kind of introduce with this. Is there was a lot of discussion. This got like 300 retweets. You know, a lot of people were carrying it around and talking about it on Twitter whenever it was sent out, and that's kind of what I wanted to tackle. What does something like this mean? I think it's fair if you want to say viable. If the viable standard is to say you could win games. You can beat good players playing these characters. You can not necessarily you're gonna win majors or win Evo. I don't think that every character that is listed here can win Evo. I don't. However, like I definitely don't think Nemesis can win Evo. Chris, that's a stretch. Phoenix Wright, definitely not. So you know,
Yo, see me next year.
you're done. Jonas, you never won an Evo. Take that. She-Hulk. She-Hulk. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What is your standard? What do you set as a? I'm gonna start with you, Merkel, since you asked the question. X23 player. You know, you found a way to make X23 go a very long way. What do you consider is your standard of viable? At what point do you look at a character like a Tron and say this is clown shoes. This is just for fun. Is there any character that you do that with? Do you think that any character can flex and win any tournament? Like, what do you think?
I guess it's maybe a question of whether or not they're an active participant in the team or just an assist. Like, I think Simcoe as an assist is really strong, and I think she's one of the better assists in the game, especially for like meaty and certain sit-ups.
Really, you think so? You think Simcoe is good?
I think as long as you don't have to play her, she's awesome. And there are certain characters that could take advantage of that.
But let's consider for the fact that you do have to. You do have to play her. And that's true of Arthur, who I think is terrible, but, he can do stuff more than Simcoe, for sure. So you do have to play these characters in this consideration.
I mean, I don't know. I'm horrible at these conversations.
Here's how I see this, okay? So, work with me here, okay? So, we have characters that have won Evo, right?
Right.
That's ridiculous. Cool. Good for them. You have characters that you are likely to see. Those might not be characters that have won Evo, but have
Viper,
done a decent amount of
Strider,
work in a lot of
Firebrand, Nova, yeah.
Right? So, how about we consider viability like a character can be played against stuff you most likely see and not be bad.
That's a pretty good way of putting it. Yeah.
So now you see it more so as if you don't have to play imagine if you played every character. You could have strategies where I play Ray. There was a time where he was playing Justin a lot and he picked Ryu, who is viable because he has a decent matchup against Akuma and Wolverine with the drones because his super coverage and everything was able to control the ground. So you have Ryu being viable when he's not necessarily a great character. Most people would say he's not going to win Evo, but he has a decent chance against some characters you are likely to see. Therefore, he is viable. It's one step below. It's not going to cover a lot of different matchups, but it is a viable strategy to play this against stuff you will most likely see.
I think that's pretty fair.
Are we saying viable has a 5-5 matchup, or at worst a 4-6 matchup against the top
I'd say viable would mean that it would have to at least have one advantageous matchup, which is probably where if it doesn't, then it's not viable.
And now I'll say,
I just want to say that I don't think numbers really work in Marvel. So when you guys are saying stuff that's 5-5 or even, it's it really depends on the player. Because I literally see Abogin's team is listed as viable only, and I'm pretty sure all of us have played Abogin. And
I whooped his ass.
But I'm just saying though, we've seen the
squash.
So
he went 0-3 against me. So
yeah, who are you talking about? Abogin. Abogin who?
0-3 against you.
What?
So,
I know he's trash too, though. So what's your point?
I'm just saying,
okay.
Some of these characters,
okay.
We're saying, okay, Trish is viable and Tron is viable. Now we all think that Trish is better than Tron. And I don't really think that because Tron doesn't have an even matchup with anybody in the cast. I don't know if she does, but that doesn't mean she's any less viable than Trish.
All right, let's take this now. Let's take this now back from a balance step, and now let's compare it to the context that it was originally tweeted out in. And when it was tweeted out, there was in quotations, it was something along, I don't remember the exact tweet, but it's something along the lines of, a traditional criticism of Marvel 3 is like, LOL, only the same 5 characters win, or something like that. Or, it was...
I have it here. She said UMPC 3 has only like 5 viable characters. Lol.
Right, okay,
That's what
so...
she said, yeah.
And that's a pretty traditional criticism that, Marvel 3, the top tiers are super hard top tiers. And it's like, that's like our hard limit of where our meta is going to go is our top tiers. That's where it goes, and that's where it stops. And the point I think that this list was trying to make, or this chart was trying to make, is that there's a huge diversity in what you can sit down and like say, I could beat Chris, or I could beat Champ, or I could beat Ray, Cloud with a lot of these characters, and especially really designing a team around that. In that context, does anybody disagree with how this is presented?
Not at all.
Does anybody disagree that we have probably one of the most diverse balances like of any fighting game? Like, if you really think about it, like the balance in Marvel 3 is pretty incredible for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was Schultz or Mixup that said there's no such thing as bad characters, but there is a thing such as bad teams. But I will put a little something there that if your team has Iron Fist or Socal, they're automatically bad. Like, you cannot win with that team.
I kind of feel the same way. Like,
Dragon Fang assist is pretty good, dude.
Yeah, but
Dragon Fang and he has lots of damage potential as a DHC character.
Okay, but Arthur has daggers, and that is a phenomenally good assist. Certainly better than Rising Fang. I don't care what you can say. That's way better than Rising Fang. Certainly better than Cinco's assist. Eventually, you will have to play.
Actually, I don't think so. I think daggers are really good. I think gold daggers are better than Cinco, but I think Simpubu is better than regular daggers.
Okay, well then you have to compare gold versus gold. Yeah, I mean if you get the bar, then I get the bar.
I think gold is better than gold. Like infinitely better than gold.
No. I was gonna say though, I think that there are 2 different types of assists. Like, you can't really compare a lockdown to. I know daggers can lock down, but they have completely different purposes. But the one thing I will say, going in your favor, KP, is like this game is a Marvel 2, so there's
right.
No such
That's
thing
context.
As an assist-only character. So those 2 characters, specifically Shinko, she's an assist-only character.
She's garbage.
So like
yeah.
in this game, you have to be able to play.
That's what I'm saying.
I take that back. You don't have to be able to play all 3 characters, but you're not going to do well if you can't play all 3 of your characters.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like Cienko, even though she has a really good assist, she's more of a liability than
tremendous.
And yeah, like it's just too much of a risk to actually.
With Arthur, I get a chance. X Factor 3 gold armor, that's a chance. That's still a win condition. Like the
Phoenix Strike has a win condition. Everybody,
right.
Like everybody assisted at Viable. I can see them making a comeback or something, but I cannot see it with Iron Fist.
And consider his order. Consider his order, where he would come out on a team. If you're playing him for Rising Fang assist, consider where he's going to come out on your team. His best spot by far is presumably point, because at that point you're coming in with 1 assist or no assist, and he's not a good anchor. So it's like
there was a British player that ran. I don't remember his name. He used to post on SOK all the time, but he ran Wolverine, Dorm, Iron Fist with Rising Fang assist.
That's Spartan Throne, right?
So that Spartan, yeah, Spartan Throne. It was Spartan Throne, and he put in work. Like you said, he's not a viable anchor. But I mean, we've seen like characters that don't necessarily fit in the spot that they're put in. Like we just talked about a dude that ran Beautiful Joe on anchor. So like anything is possible. It may not be great, but I mean you can run anything in this game.
And let me point out this too. Not every character that you are likely to see has 1 Evo. There are some viable characters on this that have 1 Evo. They're viable.
Yeah.
And you could say that this character's better, sure. Like, but regardless, like, look, like these are the people. This is Justin Wong and Flocker back when he won. And that was like them at the prime, when they won Evo. Like, if you are that good enough, who knows what you can figure out how to play against like other characters. And you might not have to say like settle on one team even. Imagine if you could pick all the viable characters and be good at all of them equally, and use that against all the top tier. I'm pretty sure you could come up with something that could really mess with somebody that doesn't know any better. You know?
Look at the only one with 2 dots. Is anybody surprised? Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is the only one with 2 dots. The only one.
Which 2 Dooms
If we're being technical, Hacker should have 2 dots as well.
No, well, see, that's what the purpose that this list exists is. It has the ultimate characters on it, so you can't consider the vanilla cast versus the ultimate cast. So this is only discussing ultimate, you know. Okay. So that kind of, you know, it's only for Doom, and that means Zero only has 1, Morgan only has 1, Virgil only has 1, Dante actually has 0. Phoenix has 1, Magneto has 1. Wolverine has 1. Doctor Doom has 2. Is anybody surprised at all by that? Does anybody else shocked that there's not another character that has 2? I'm shocked that Viper doesn't have 1 at all, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. But I mean,
it's too hard.
It's too much.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anybody who thinks that wants to stand up one more time for Cinco or Iron Fist? Because I think they're both trash. I mean, honestly,
I think Ryu should be not viable.
No.
For sure.
Ryu's definitely viable. He's capable.
I don't think there's anyone in this cast that is not viable. Whether or not they're easy or effective, I think is a different argument. But I think you can play literally anyone in this cast with the right team. Senko, she's really slow and she has lots of issues. But she does have some weird mix-ups that you're going to gimmick some people out. People today still don't know how to deal with gold armor. And they don't know how to punish or assist properly and deal with it. And how much, it hits the bottom of super jump height. Go and watch, MWC this last year. Top 8 Bates. Was running... what is he running?
Oh, yeah.
Wolverine Shinko.
Actually,
Virgil.
I gotta interjection. Alfredo hit me up with this. Virgil should have 2, Flocker and Chris G.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's interesting.
Doom and Virgil.
Who was that?
Alfredo
Harris.
What up, dude?
What's up? Detective Alfredo, our stats guy, is fact checking Marvel Live as we speak. We've got our Alfredo stats on it. Don't worry, guys. This just in, breaking development. Yeah, of course. Okay, so of course Virgil did. Yeah, I'm sorry. What were you saying before that? Sif, right? Or Merkel?
No, I was just saying I don't and even back when Justin was laying hands on people with Iron Fist, there are the top flight cast gives him trouble, but people aren't. Not everyone.
I beat him when he played Iron Fist.
Yeah, but a lot of people didn't.
Yeah, and that's why I'm the best.
It was 2012 though.
Yeah, well, okay, well, we don't need to talk about that. But
even if he grabbed him today, I bet he would still mollywop some people with him.
Maybe, but
look, even
that's a credit to Justin, not to Iron Fist.
Neo Carnage fucking butted me the other day with Iron Fist, and I still think he sucks. It's just Neo Carnage is that good, you know. I mean,
right?
When I say not viable, it's
that's the point I'm trying to make, where it's you could really just try and put the effort into that character and really figure something out. Marvel's sort of a game where it gives you enough liberty and freedom to do that.
It's like a puzzle, yeah.
Where a game that has less options, if you figure the character out, you don't really have to you have information to hold over your opponent or anything. So it's
everybody be honest. What's the character that you think sucks that you lost to in a tournament? Because I know everybody's had
definitely Nemesis.
Oh, easily.
Nemesis.
For me, it was Nemesis. What for you, KP?
Nemesis 100% Nemesis.
Captain America, right?
Yeah, Captain America.
Yo, Captain America is actually really good. I just,
Jonas, which one would you?
My what?
Your embarrassing character loss.
Sucks that you lost to in tournament.
Tron.
Okay. Merkel. Kyle, what about you? Was it Arthur?
Double A
Nemesis, yeah. See, well, I've never lost to Double A. I want to clear the record. I've never lost to that buffoon, but I did lose to Combusted. What's that?
Who?
Joe?
Yeah, Joe. But you were saying Combusted?
Oh no, I lost it. I lost to him playing Nemesis, Spencer, Rocket Raccoon, or Rocket
I was
Raccoon
gonna
Spencer.
say, y'all, like for real, I would switch Iron Fist with Nemesis on the not viability chart.
No,
I was gonna say that. No, y'all are whack, dude. Just pick better characters. That kid
No.
is like that. No, stop.
I think
Say the
this
same.
sucks, but I've seen Scamby do enough work. And
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna count. I don't know. Like, I understand that everybody doesn't like necessarily have the character knowledge, and I think that's where a lot of it comes from. I don't think Iron Fist is gonna catch people slipping like a Nemesis would.
But Rising
Yeah,
Fang
Clean-
Assist is
Clean-
more likely to catch somebody than Nemesis on point.
Nobody
No.
used Rising Fang except for Punisher.
But it's if you're
Justin
playing
Wong
Rising
did-
Fan,
This
it's
is
more of a liability, you know. It's like if it's not viable, if it like bumps your team down instead of like just keeping it neutral. And like Iron Fist, even though Rising Fan is good, you still have Iron Fist on your team. And,
yeah.
you know,
That's
you still
still a
have
net
Socal.
loss. A net loss in your
Not
team.
using Log Trap.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
There's a. I don't know. Yeah, I just think. I don't. Yeah, Iron Fist is a throwaway. I think. I don't like She-Hulk very much, but I understand that she has some gimmicks, so I can see her being viable.
No. I think
Anchor?
if She-Hulk is on there, then Iron Fist is on there. They're pretty much.
At least she can
Nah,
launch.
dude. Like she can.
She-Hulk
she can
Anchor
play.
is so real. Yeah,
Yeah.
She-Hulk
It's real,
Anchor
it's
She has a
is like
command
enough to
grab.
be sort of viable.
All right.
I think
We don't need to ever talk about these characters again. Nemesis, Cinco. What were you gonna say, Kyle?
Okay, I'm just hating. Fine.
What were you gonna
just,
say?
Like
Have you guys seen that
Thor
one?
She-Hulk? The Obligin is the only thing that makes She-Hulk good. She has like the worst. She is the worst of her archetype.
No, dude. Have you seen that one guy that plays She-Hulk Spencer?
Nope, I haven't.
Nope, I haven't.
It's good, dude. Like She-Hulk with like a good assist. It's like.
No,
No, I don't. I'm not buying it that far.
Guy that local that loves She-Hulk. He's trash.
I'm gonna say I only believe in She-Hulk specifically in the Abigail setup, and that's the only reason why I give her a pass because she's pretty bad. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of I'm pretty much satisfied with this. We did have a pretty interesting question from Twitter that I'd like to ask before we wrap up tonight. If you guys are comfortable hitting that real quick, I know we're pretty late. It's 10:20, but I also really like this guy's Twitter handle. This comes from EMP Obama, and he says, "What if Marvel 4 turns out to actually be bad, aka way too dumbed down, 8+ frames of innate lag, rootkit version, rootkit, baloney. It's a real concern, isn't it? Like at this point,
No, it's not.
Marcus. All right, we've got two.
Okay.
Marcus, you start,
I'm
Marcus.
not. Street Fighter 5 is much better than it was a month. Now it's much better than it was a month ago. Much better than it was when it launched. But that game, in my opinion, doesn't give me a lot of faith in Capcom's abilities right now. And if Capcom is making Marvel 4, I'm like, I don't really know. It's not even the dumbed down aspect. It's just like is the game gonna be like a free to play, but then last minute they're gonna switch it to something else? Like, can you imagine having to wait for characters for like a 3-team game or a 3-character game, and you gotta wait for a character that may make your team complete?
Yeah.
Like that sounds really shitty.
I don't think they'll ever do that.
Kyle, well, before I give it to you, Kyle, you immediately had the opposite reaction. You say, no, it's not a problem. You're not concerned at all about Capcom botching a possible Marvel 4?
I mean, I think no matter what, people are going to come out and they're going to hate it because there's people that love their characters in Street Fighter 4 and the iteration there. And Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 are just different games. The whole 8-frame crap, like, I think that's the most blown out argument of all time because it's a constant 8 frames. And if you're playing, you're eventually going to be like, you'll know what you can do inside the game. So to say that you're losing 6 months in because of 8 frames, that means you haven't been playing for 6 months.
Didn't Street Fighter 4 have 6 frames or something like that?
Street Fighter 4 was 5 frames. Street Fighter 4 on PS4 was 6 frames. I think the main thing that people are complaining about is it makes certain things like you're not reacting to the action, you're reacting to the situation. Where if Nash dashes up on you, you may not be able to
Tag on time, yeah.
exactly. Like there's certain. It's not necessarily that the game.
That, like the Nash, that's not a 8 frames thing. Like he's got a really weird dash where he crashes down and then jumps forward. So even though like half of his dash animation isn't actually movement, it's crouch.
Yeah.
So even if you had 3 more frames, you wouldn't be reacting to that.
Yeah.
And
It starts up moving forward on the 8.
It makes jump-ins way more random, I guess you could say, because you're trying to. If you commit to a ground game and somebody jumps, you don't have time to anti-air. You have to just block and take whatever mix-up you put in.
Well, to see, what were you gonna say? You had something that you wanted to add before about this.
I mean, I was just gonna say that like, if y'all are complaining about a 3-frame difference, just like learn to accept what's happening and just time your shit better.
Yeah, it's like basically what Kyle said. It's like you're gonna learn
like,
to
for real,
learn.
Like you have to like in this game because there's a little bit more lag. You have to kind of like be more like intentive, like have more intention behind what you're doing. You know, like really try and be proactive, not reactive.
For the record, I don't think 8 frames is gonna mess up Marvel because Marvel's not necessarily reactive minus blocking. I think
no, it definitely, but that matters though. And like Marvel 3 has 3 frames of lag, and you need every frame matters to like deal with the 50-50. Because like if you mistime it.
But what I'm saying is, I think Marvel, just the fact that the combos basically guaranteed kill, it's only like one situation that you have to deal with, versus like multiple situations in Street Fighter.
Street Fighter
it could be more of a like frustrating. It's like I'm pretty sure I blocked that, but I'm getting hit.
Yeah.
And then you just get to think about it for 10 seconds. Versus Street Fighter, it's like that happens like 3 times in 10 seconds, and that should be more frustrating.
Street Fighter is referred to as a series of clashes versus like what Marvel 3 is. You basically get the hit, and then it's over. Tussie, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say like, but that's the thing. It's frustrating. That's what like. It sucks that it's frustrating, but like we can definitely adapt past it if we stop getting frustrated at it. You know?
Absolutely.
Like we just gotta accept the fact that this is how it's gonna be timed, or like this is how we gotta time things. If I mistime it, I'm like, okay, I got time that earlier, or maybe sometimes it's not even worth it, so you play around it. You know what I mean? Like being able to react to everything in a fighting game, footsie wise, that's not fun to fight against at all.
No.
You know what I mean? Like that. Like they wanted this to be more of a heavy committal game, and like that's I'm not. It fits with it. I don't know. Like I
agree
on this one. Yeah, like for real, like just learn to time your stuff better and like accept what's going on, and then you might be able to learn a thing or two.
Well, I want to say as an extension to that question here before we wrap up for the night, and I've heard it go both ways with this with people I've asked before. Would you rather see a proper Marvel vs. Capcom 4 or some sort of redone version of 3?
I think Capcom can learn from their mistakes. So I want to see a 4.
4. Marcus, what do you think?
You said so 4 or redone 3? Like,
yeah.
What do you mean redone 3?
So it's going to be on the new consoles. Same engine's going to be basically the same. It's a pretty great engine. But balance, rebalance, move to the new consoles. Yeah, so it's a new version. Yeah, they're gonna say, we're rebalancing. Maybe they add some characters, add some costumes. I don't know, but it's still Marvel 3, but it's rebalanced.
I love this game too much. I picked 3.
Okay, you picked 3. You changed your mind. Marcus, what do you think?
I mean, I think 3 would bring in more people, not necessarily new people, but more people that I like to hang out with. So,
yeah.
I'd be down with hanging out with the homies versus potentially having random. I don't know. I will go with 3.
I like that answer.
3.
What do you think? What do you think, Kyle? What do you think?
So I mean, if we're saying Ultimate 3,
right?
I'll say with a caveat, playable online. Like that's the only thing I need. If
okay.
I had that, then 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna say modernized. So yeah, playable online.
But I mean, if we're just talking about like port it to PS4 or get a new game with a new engine with possible pros and cons, I would take the new thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Playing the old thing.
Yeah, I don't want it just to be like, oh, we brought this game as is to PS4.
No, definitely ultimate Marvel 3. New bells and whistles, cleaned up, polished UI. etc. You know, maybe a new future of DLC.
Final Ultimate.
Yeah.
FUMV.
Uncanny, wasn't that what was floating around?
Uncanny, yeah.
Uncanny was the rumored name for a while. So
I just wanna add a little something. I mean, the way Capcom works, they want to see if their investment is gonna make money. So basically, we got Street Fighter 4 after we got HD Remix, and we
Yeah.
got Marvel 3 after
Yeah.
the MVC 2 port.
they like to
They
test the
tried it.
waters.
Yeah, they tried it with Darkstalkers, and that didn't sell at all. So we don't have Darkstalkers like a new Darkstalkers now because of that. So we'll probably see Marvel 3 on PS4 before Marvel 4, hopefully. And
Hopefully.
To be fair, I would even if it was just a port, I would buy it, but only because I'm tired of carrying around my
Amen.
Xbox.
Amen.
Yeah.
and
that's the
that's
biggest
the thing that
That's the one
Flash was saying. Flash was saying just that, or like it's annoying to like just bring 2 sticks or just like buy a converter, but that adds lag. So I think it would be for the best, like for the future of the community, if we got it for PS4. And even then, I'm not even sweating it too much because as long as I have 8 people to play with,
I agree.
keep playing.
I would buy a PS4 for that.
I don't have 8 people to play with.
Yeah, 8 people. What
Yeah,
are you living in paradise?
I mean, that's like a mini tournament, you know.
What are you saying, Marcus?
I was gonna say, I think I said it before. I literally bought a Marvel setup, the TV and everything to a local here, and nobody had a 360 stick besides me.
Right.
So
It's becoming an issue now. Like it's becoming a real and like for TOs, they basically are stocking 360s only for Marvel, and that's a problem too. So, Tasif, I didn't ask you. What do you think, one way or the other, before we wrap up? Marvel 4 versus an updated 3.
I just want it on PS4, whatever it is.
Okay.
No,
So
it would.
That's
I would
like
be-
that and online. It's like that's all I need. I'm there. Cool. Like you don't need much. You know what I mean? Just like make sure it's still being able to like keep up with all the changes going on too. That's all it needs. Whatever it takes.
It would hurt my heart so much if it came out on an Xbox One.
yeah, that would be
I would
ugly.
be clear on that.
I do have, however,
This decision counts.
However, I do have an Xbox One. My girlfriend has an Xbox One, so I don't have a PS4. So that does help me if it comes out on Xbox
I just
One.
want a PC version.
That would be better. You know, if it comes out on Xbox One, there's a new partnership, you know, that Microsoft has between the two, so it would have a better chance probably of coming to PC. But I think I would still
Whatever
rather.
it is.
I would still rather have PS4. It would be better for the
To
community.
be honest, if it was Xbox One, then that would be so frustrating. It'd be the same thing over. Like if you don't have
Yeah.
a dual modded stick, then you're gonna have to have 2 sticks anyways.
It would be bad. So I think for the sake of the game, and I would also, just for the record, to throw my 2 pieces in, I would much rather see an updated version of 3 than with a new way to like glow and blossom, because it's still not bad. Ultra David was just tweeting about it like 6 days ago, and plenty of people say this all the time. Visually, Ruin was talking about it. Visually, audio, it holds up better than any other fighting game still out there. I mean, like it's awesome to watch, and it's really spectacular. And it never got its fair chance to walk on DLC, you know, like generate money for itself. Think of all the costumes we could have gotten.
Dude,
And
can you imagine like if Capcom went as hard for Marvel as they did for Street Fighter 5?
Of
like,
course.
Costumes and stuff. Like
exactly, it would be unreal, and you know that's
especially with the Marvel universe like taking off. Like
Yes.
we probably would have seen like all the characters like with the movies as they
MCU
were coming out.
costumes, yeah, like cinematic universe costumes, and then for the Capcom characters, we will have like retro costumes, you know.
and that's what's good. That's what's good with the cast that's in the game now. Though they already did that for their their phase of movies. Those characters are still relevant. You know, Strange, Raccoon. You know, these are guys that they put in for a purpose. Ghost Rider's getting a reboot. You know, so I don't know. I'm hopeful for an update, but that's pretty much all I have for the night. We're gonna do some shout outs. Anybody have some shout outs they want to give out? Anybody want to start us off for the evening? Jonas, anybody you want to shout out to tonight?
Shout out to Puerto Rico.
Shout out to Puerto
Play
Rico.
Marvel. I
Hell
guess.
yeah. Shout out to Puerto Rican Marvel. Marcus, anybody you want to shout out tonight?
Shout outs to Puerto Rican Marvel.
Shout out to Puerto Rican Marvel. Merkel, anybody you want to shout out tonight?
Shout outs to Puerto Rican Marvel.
Hey, shout out to Puerto
Yes.
Rican Marvel. Tasif, buddy, anybody you want to shout out tonight before we sign off for the evening?
Shouts to Puerto Rican Marvel.
I love it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. We figured out the issue that was having with our upload, so this will be uploaded immediately following the end of this broadcast. Like I said, I'll have links ideally in the description for all of the tournaments that we talked about, so you can catch up. Shout outs to my girlfriend who is sick over there and doesn't feel good, but shout outs to her. Shout outs to, yeah, she just took her PM medicine, so she's actually pretty much asleep. Shout outs to Puerto Rican Marvel. And shout outs to Marvel Live. We'll be back in 2 weeks. 10/18, October 18th. That's our next date. So you can expect to see us again pretty soon. And we'll be after SCR and TFC and moving towards our November tournaments by then. So we'll see you guys then. For now, thank you again for watching, and everybody have a fantastic night.
See ya.
Later, guys.